crypto market kind of tilts. Yeah, we're watching different news and narrative within last 24 hours. I mean, these are bullish. The news which you're watching in front of you is bullish. Now, what we have to identify is how does these individual assets look like? Are they showing you an opportunity or are they showing you a red flag? So in here, we discuss everything. Fine. Now let's actually go in to the assets which we are interested in. Now, understand when you look at the market, say this is XRP on a 3-day chart, we've been talking about this particular trend line for a long time. Now, there are few assets testing that trend line. There are few trying to break that trend line. There are few which is failing. So your decision for next 3 months should be based on that. Let's break them down. Welcome to the scientific investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. While we go through all of this and understand like, okay, these are what the market is showing you, these opportunities as they show you, we want to see whether that's getting priced in or that's kind of a rug pull mechanism. They invite a lot of retail in and then kick them out. Is it that scenario, right? So in the market, you literally have to look through what the news is. This is first thing which you have to do. So this kind of a website kind of helps you in that arena, meaning everything is there. If you want to find some announcement, it kind of gives you, okay, what they are looking to do. Then the insights, which kind of gives you a lot of edge, especially in the last 1 week to analyze the price action. Like when you see something bad going on and the price is going up, now you know, okay, there is something wrong. Let me go into the details. Then you understand that was a 90% crash. Don't just buy into it because it's up. Yeah. So you need to know the 24-hour change with its volume and the news. That helps massively, in my opinion. Now, within that, when you go in, you need to find some of these assets. And not just some of these assets, but some of these assets which are trying to run against Bitcoin, which I think gives you a signal. When you see them starting to do something against Bitcoin on a daily, now you're like, okay, let me zoom out. Let me look into a weekly. If this thing breaks higher here, that's a good signal, isn't it? I mean, that's against Bitcoin. Now, yes, you can put it into USDT. Yes, you can put it into USDC if your exchange or your preferred stablecoin is that. But now understand, when you're here and you're looking through all these, say for example, you are watching NEO, it's trying to bounce back up on a weekly, trying to make a higher low on a daily. Now you're like, okay, that's against Bitcoin. So is it really strong against USDT? Is it really strong against USDC, the stable coins? So in here you're watching, yeah, it's making a higher low. Any breakout here can lead this to somewhere else. Now, yes, you will have to draw the short-term trend lines, all of these. As we do, you can understand, connect these lines and it gives you where you may go back up to retest. But the benefit is you need to identify them based on the segments. You need to see if they are running against Bitcoin, if they are showing you the exact same thing or even more against a stable coin like USDC or USDT. Now, let's get back into the real mechanism of the market. Negative divergence in here is still valid. It's not doing anything, which is bad. I mean, we would like to see this come back up and validate that. As of now, it didn't. Good. Now, look at XLM. I mean, there is something building up here. I'm like, what's happening to XRP in that case? We're not getting to see that thing, even though these two are highly correlated assets. Yeah. So once you're like, okay, fine. There is something in the payments. Let me search all the payment assets. I mean, the big ones, yeah? Not the small micro ones. Now we are going in here and that's like, okay, H bar. I don't have a bullish divergence on a 3-day. So yeah, don't look at for weekly. Yeah, that's clear. Now I go in with, say, XDC. Meaning you need to look at the segments and identify the ones which are moving away from that correlation. meaning they're finding their own utility and investors and partnerships. So this is XDC for you. It's starting to build the bullish divergence. Maybe it can come back down and then start this bounce. That is a bigger possibility for sure, right? So now we just saw XRP, XLM, HBAR, XDC. I mean, all of these are literally payment tokens. Now, say if you are a big fan of that mechanism like me, payments, watch this. It's coming, it's doing something, but the bullish divergence on a 3-day, even on a 3-day, is not yet confirmed. Last time you saw this, it was confirmed once, it was retested, and then it went up. So first you need to confirm that, then a retest and a bounce. So your amount of patience and discipline which you'll need in this market is going to be astronomical at this point, because no one has that discipline at this point because the market has been this crazy. Now, let's be honest on this side. You saw a negative divergence coming in terms of the price action on a 3-day. Now, to retest that, you do have a pump. Yeah, that's kind of a 100% move, which is good. Perfect. Now, the question is, do the weekly align with it? So you literally can go into it. Say you pick it up. What you have to do is you'll have to put it on a 3-day and weekly and compare it. So on a weekly, what do you see? Now, remember always that, now, if you want to put in monthly, we can put in a monthly as well. This is the monthly, fine. So now we have the monthly, the weekly, the 3-day, all of them together. Fine, this is a weekly, this is a 3-day, you zoomed in, this is zoomed out view. Now, on a monthly, what do you recognize? This is that 5th month where you're still playing out for the one candle. That's bullish. Cool, fine. You come on to the weekly here. On a weekly, what are you watching here? Yeah, you have a trend line which is going to the upside. The price did not come back down to this range. It stopped here. But still, the RSI said, oh no, I dropped. Meaning a lot more sellers came into the picture, but they failed to push the price down. That's hidden bullish divergence. So on a weekly, you have hidden bullish divergence. Cool. On a 3-day, you have bullish divergence. Good. On a macro, the monthly, it shows I'm just in my retracement phase, and if it's me, I'll be buying that, right? That's what the market says. Now, the decision is always yours, whether you want to buy it, you want to wait, you don't want to buy it. It's all completely up to you. So that this is how you look at these things. Say, for example, you go into Bitcoin. That's very important in my opinion. You put Bitcoin on the same frame, yeah? You're looking at this on a weekly, arguing, oh shit, there was a negative divergence. Are we about to invalidate that? As of now, no. On a weekly, I don't think you stand a chance to do that. Yeah? Why? Yeah? That is an honest question and a big question. Because this negative divergence is visible on a monthly. So you need to invalidate that on a monthly first to be able to say, okay, the weekly is valid. Now you go on to a 3-day. So remember, the weekly is showing you negative, the monthly is showing you negative, but the 3-day is saying, I'm starting to build bullish divergence. Good, cool. What does that mean actually? You can be choppy here and then go back up to retest something, but the macro prevails. At some point, it's about to get rejected and get rejected hard. If we are playing out the 2021 scenario, you know, it barely even made a new high and then dropped. But maybe I'm wrong, but I really don't think we may go into that high region here before we drop. I believe we'll come back to this trend line, hit that, and then go back down. Boom, that's going to be the macro crash. Why? Look at the dollar, guys. I mean, the dollar on a weekly, if you put that $1, you'll see this. It's going to close at a low which we haven't seen for a long period of time. But on a monthly, it's doing that. Now, put oil in there. You will understand this. The significance of this on a monthly is very much important. That's oil on a monthly, breaking back into the territory seen in 2021. What was happening in 2020 to be able to push that price that low? 1, 2. Now we are all technical, yeah, in here. You plot this trend line and you're like, okay, let me see. How low should I come to retest this? That's 50. Now we are 60. So what will push the price down, and will we go into a panic mode? Why does that matter? You'll have to zoom back because oil is such a macro asset. You'll have to zoom out on this. That's something very scary. You're going back from the 70s and you're plotting this and you're like, whoa, wait. We may come back down to 40. For oil to come back down to 40, what should happen in the economy? So these are the questions which you put on your macro analysis friend, and then you go on to these. This is Apple. Yeah. The tariff, the latest news is favorable for them by removing the tech stocks. But now watch. They're still having long wick, showing them going down. Doesn't look good. Yeah. So if that sellout continues, what's this? The breakout, the retest. If there is a rejection, you go lower. Not a lot of people will like that. People will scare and move out. But what's good? Gold is going up. So they have a safe haven asset to run into from the stocks. Now, what's even better? If this short-term rally which we're speaking happens in between, we get massive exit liquidity. I know it's not humanly ethical to say that, but all of those people, they're going to come into crypto, giving me the ability to say, I'm jumping out. I'm selling here. This is the extension of the negative divergence and I'm moving out. So that is what we are waiting for. Make sure you have something in Cayman Islands. Make sure you have something in UAE. For next 3 months, if you can build that up, that's perfect. You go there, you close it, no capital gains, and you enjoy the profits, right? So now, why? What's the MACD? When the MACD crossed last time, like this, to the upside, what started there? Yeah, a long consolidation, which was choppy, bloopy. But then, as the MACD crossed to the upside and came back to the positive territory, price action started moving up. Now, I really don't think we are going that high with that momentum, but I do believe we are going to continue back to the upside, giving room to some of these assets to go up. So, Bitcoin dominance reaching back to this region on a monthly gives you that confidence to say, we talked about this shit. Yeah, we argued about this few months back. Now it's happening. That retest, the fake out. If we get that fake out and a drop, it's going to be very good, exceptionally good for the assets which are running against Bitcoin, for the assets which are running against the market. Yeah, how do you find them? Watch the bullish divergence on a 3-day and the negative divergence and its correction being done. That's important. If not, you may get a small pump, but not a big one, right? So when you go through this, if you want to identify those, if you want to use AI analysis tools and all, this is going to be a platform which will help you, because not a lot of people kind of know how to read the charts well. But yeah, I'm there to help you. Say you're on a different time horizon, you need more help about how to understand this, what you can understand for that particular asset. Yeah. That is where you can kind of use these tools like segment by segment breakdown, running against USDT or Bitcoin, getting that in-depth view and analysis for AI. Yeah. So that kind of helps you a lot. Then the news, the insights, everything at one platform. That's going to be good. So if you'd like to join that, the referral is in the description below. Now, if you received value, guys, smash that like button. And if you want all these charts in front of you to make sure you ride this market to the upside and exit, that's important. Exit before it crashes. Be a part of the Scientific Investor family. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.